Hi, I'm Hub Arkush for Pro Football Weekly, and we're here to preview our NFL Game of the Week for Week 4 of the NFL season. You may be asking, well, how'd they come up with a 1-2 team and an 0-3 team? But what teams in the NFL have more controversy around them right now than the New Orleans Saints, who Dan Parr covers for us, our associate editor, and executive editor Dan Arkush covers the Green Bay Packers. And Dan, I got to come to you. It's going to be a week later. They've got to put it behind them. And you got to ask yourself, how does this Packer team bounce back after clearly having a football game stolen from them Monday night?
Well, I think they'll come back strong. I think Mike McCarthy is pretty good in these types of situations. They've been through a lot of adversity in recent years, Hub, that they've done a great job overcoming. And beyond that, I think they're going up against a defense. And this might be the week that the Packer offense that we saw last year, maybe it comes back out again.
Dan Parr, I forgot I got two Dans here. Dan Parr, if there's anybody desperate for a win, it's the 0-3 New Orleans Saints. And yet, looking at what happened at home last week against the Chiefs, letting that one get away, this is clearly not the same Saints team we've seen the last few years.
Not on either side of the ball. They do have a new scheme on defense with Steve Spagnuolo, which is apparently taking a very long time for players to get adjusted to. I mean, you look at the run defense for the Saints, it's given about 60 yards more per game than the second worst rush defense in the entire league. So while the Packers are known to throw the ball around quite a bit, I think Cedric Benson could be pretty active in this game.
Now, Dan, part of the Green Bay Packers that nobody seems to be talking about, I was on the sideline for that Bear-Packer game a couple weeks ago. Aaron Rodgers has not been Aaron Rodgers. He's been inaccurate, the thing that makes him so special. He seems to hit everything he throws. Rodgers clearly not in rhythm with those Green Bay receivers.
I think a big part of that, Hub, is they've really gone up against three pretty strong defenses. We have to say that. And I mean, the latest being Seattle with a tremendous secondary. And what teams have been able to do, they're playing their safeties deep. They're keeping everything in front of them. They're completely taking away those big plays that were such a big part of the Packer offense last year. The other thing is Jermichael Finley, who's supposed to be such a key part of the offense, hasn't done much at all yet. But I still think they have an explosive arsenal.
All right, now, Dan Parr, explain this one to me. New Orleans Saints synonymous with big plays as well. Going into Week 3, Darren Sproles did not have a carry from scrimmage, so he gets 7 carries from scrimmage, but they don't throw him a pass. And Pete Carmichael is the same guy who ran that offense last year. Why aren't they using Darren Sproles more than they are?
That's a good question, and it's not one that you've heard a good answer for quite yet. I think they've gotten themselves into situations now in games where they're just not able to call plays like they were last year. They're not playing ahead. They're coming from behind a lot of times. They weren't last week. But something to watch in this game, I think. Zach Strief, their right tackle, really struggling. I expect Dom Capers to come after him with Clay Matthews throughout that game. Drew Brees is under a little more pressure than he's used to seeing. This offensive line has not played up to expectations. All
right, guys, now these are going to be two-part predictions I need from you. I'll go to our executive editor, Dan Arkush, first. A, do these two teams play like we hope they play? Will this be a high-scoring air show, and who wins the football game?
I don't think it's going to be anything like that, barn burner in Week 1 last year, Hub. But I think that the Packers are going to win handily. I would say something like 30-10.
Dan Parr?
I think it's going to be an air show for the Packers, not so much for the Saints. I think they're going to win comfortably by at least 10 points in this one.
You've got the Packers winning comfortably.
The Packers win.
Yeah, guys, I'm with you. I mean, I don't know that the Packers are as good as they were last year, but there's something wrong in New Orleans. I think we can say that officially now. I'm not sure it stops this Sunday. I think they go to 0-4. For more of the best news, notes, and analysis from around the NFL, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, make sure you stay right here at ProFootballWeekly.com.